September 15th. Episode of Morning Coffee and Chat. September 15th already. My God. Hey, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to mute the computer. Episode of Morning Coffee and Chat. September 15th already. God, that sounds awful familiar. God, hey, you know. I hope everybody's had a great week. I have been busier than a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest. Today is the 6th, 7th. Today's the 9th day in a row that I've opened up the restaurant. Yesterday I didn't even know if I was going to make it. Not only did I have a lot of orders, being a Thursday, we had a truck come in, we had a guy show up. Good morning, Masha, good to see you this morning, love. Hope you're doing well. We had a guy come in 45 minutes after me wanting to clean my fryers, and I told him, ain't happening, bud. Not gonna happen. They're already up to temperature. It's gonna take at least 2.5 or 3 hours for them to get down to the right temperature where it's not a safety issue, and it's not gonna happen. So, you know, communication and organization, y'all. Communication and organization. But this is going to be a short stream. I'm sorry. I have to open again this morning. I've got to open tomorrow. As of right now, I don't have to open on Sunday. But yeah, that don't always mean anything. So, like I said, I hope you guys have had a great week. Sitting back, enjoying our coffee. Good morning, Chris. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well this morning. Hope you guys enjoyed the video yesterday on the history of coffee. I was planning to do something totally different. And morning, Tony. Good to see you this morning. I was going to do something totally different, and I was planning out this morning's live stream, and it was like, you know, we try to get together, you know, at least once or twice a week, have morning coffee and chat a little bit about whatever's on our mind and stuff like that. And I started thinking, where would we be without coffee? Hell, where'd coffee come from? You know, a lot of people believe it comes from Central and South America. But, you know, the more I looked into it, you know, the more I looked around, the more I realized it didn't even start on the American continent. It started over in Africa. Egyptians were trading in coffee for 2,000 years before the first Europeans ever come to this continent. Want to do some important people in history. Not many know. Why does that name sound familiar, Tony? Elmer Keith. Why does that name sound familiar? I need to fix this. Hook up on the computer real quick here, because my screen is sitting here and it's doing this. Father of the 44 Mag. Started to say the name Elmer Keith sounds familiar, but I didn't know from where. and the 41 mag and a few others. Sounds interesting. Good morning, Sarah. Good to see your smiling face this morning. Well, I mean, I can only imagine you're smiling. Every time I've ever seen a picture of you, you're smiling. So I'm assuming. If you're not smiling, I'm sorry. Don't know what I could do to make you smile. Don't have none of my goofy little props around here. Oh, here, hold on. Here's a goofy prop. This will make you smile. Do you remember Chitters? You remember Chitters from last year? Remember little Chitters? Okay. You can shut up. Shut up. There you go. How's everybody? Morning, Danny. Good to see you. My own townhouse. I move in October. Congratulations, girl. Congratulations. That's awesome. I'll tell you what, for me being so busy this week with the job, with opening for the last week plus, we've been getting a lot done around here. Mark is actually in the process now of working with one of the local cities about getting an all-nighter in one of our bigger cemeteries. Now, this is a cemetery that we have been to before and got a lot of information, but it seems like the later and later that we go, the more active things get. We've not really stayed that late before due to work schedules and other responsibilities. Grandma was still alive the last time we were there, so 11:30 at night was pretty much the cutoff point because I had to get home. I had to be prepared to be up with her the next day. Mark had to go home, get sleep to go to work the next day. So now that he's in management and everything, and I can schedule my days off, we're looking at an all-nighter in probably one of the most active cemeteries we've ever been in. When I finish my master's, it's going good. Awesome. Congratulations, girl. That is great. So time of day has a lot to do with haunting. A lot of paranormal investigators believe it don't. A lot of paranormal investigators believe that it doesn't, that the time of day does not have a lot to do with it. I, on the other hand, we have been out. We have been out at cemeteries during the daytime and got so gone back out at night and just been blown away by the activity. So I really honestly feel that in a sense the evening or nights do, let me muster better responses and stuff. Let me see here. Frankenfest, Saturday, Fort Wayne, Detroit. Man, I'd love to go to Frankenfest just once. That would be absolutely great. Sadly enough, though, tomorrow I've got to open again. So that'll be 10 days in a row. Or that'll be 11 days. Today's 10 days. Good morning, Ty. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing good. Happy Friday to all you poor souls that have to work today and actually get a weekend off. Freedom, good morning. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Yeah, good look at your event there, Wild Bill. That's going to be very, very interesting, and I'm hoping that next year I can actually join you for that event. That'll be very, very cool to go out there and do Bill Cody to your Wild Bill. And, the nice thing about it is that gives me a year to try to find a printer that is, willing to print off some of the large, former billings for the Wild West. Things that are really going to draw the crowd in. Of course, I'm looking. I'm still looking for the really nice fringed beaded Cody coat. I have found one. It's going to run me about $100 that I don't have. So that's the only thing that's keeping me from doing Cody right now. Is I've got the thigh-high boots. I've got the pants, I've got the shirts and the vests. Just need that coat that Cody was synonymous for wearing. Sounds exciting. Best of luck. Just waiting for my grant. Mr. Streams, I'm glad you're on today. Thank you, Sarah. I was actually, I knew I had to open. They haven't changed the schedule for today, so there was no going in extra early. I was off at home by 5 o'clock last night, so, as busy as it was, I still passed out like that quick. Last night here at home was chili dogs. We didn't want, this is two rump-busting, hard-ass days in a row. I was exhausted last night. Morning, Squatch. Good to see you, bud. Let me see here. May try to do a short live if I have good signal. Well, hopefully I'll be out of work in time to see it. Try to do it for later in the afternoon. I should be out of there by 4 o'clock tomorrow, so that's going to be 1 o'clock your time. Or no, that'll be 3 o'clock your time. So, try to do it in the evening time, late afternoon. I'll be able to join right in with you, bud. But yeah, it's been a heller week, and we're even hiding. Ain't seen you at any of the usual spots. Poor Tony and his dyslexia. Haven't seen you in any of our usual sops. Sops. It's all right. Spots. We all know what he means. How's work going? Work is going great. I mean, work is going great. I've got a real good rapport with my kitchen manager. I'm kind of the unofficial assistant kitchen manager. Um, Instead of him coming in and putting the truck away yesterday, I come in, I reorganized um, the walk-in, I reorganized the freezers, everything. When I put all the frozen product away, I ran the line, and you know, I'm now keyed up on our team chat, so it's going good. They're just working my ever loving butt off. Like I said, today is day 10 that I've opened up. Um, Tomorrow will be day 11, and as of right now, I've got, I don't open on Sunday, but it's always subject to change. My hands are cold. I can't feel several fingers. And I can't type for shit. I'm obnoxious. Why? Why, sir? Why are you obnoxious? Um, One more time. Danny, before you take off, won't you tell people about Frankenfest? If they live in the area, you know, they can come out and visit you, or at least you know know where it's at. I'm leaving here a little after 2. Take me a little bit to get down, unpack, set up my camp. There's a blood flow issue. I just have to wait out. Um, I do enjoy it. So, good morning, Gunny. Good to see you, my friend. Doing well, Gunny. Hope you are too, my friend. Hope you are too. Like I said, it's Friday. For those of you who are unlucky enough to have a job, I hope that you are lucky enough to have the weekend off. Thank you, Danny. Thank you. Frankenfest definitely does look like a very interesting event. Um, I'm actually hoping that I can get out and do more with Danny during these next couple months, between investigations and the Ghostbuster thing. Um, still working on my pack, trying to individualize the ignition sequence with the neutrino wand firing. It's going to be a little hard. It's all on the same soundboard, so I'm going to have to order 2 brand new soundboards and do a little bit of rewiring. And very possibly the first time I pull the trigger on the thing, it's going to burst into flames, and I'm going to be a big roasted weenie. So that should make for an interesting video. Best case scenario, it works just fine. Who knows? When I did the federal police gig, I had 2 weekends off in 4 years. That sucks. Exactly, Gunny. That's the way I look at it. If you're gonna go out in style. I mean, I'm not really worried about. I'm not worried about the main ignition. You flip the big switch, it fires up. The. But it's when you pull the trigger on that neutrino wand that all of a sudden the whole pack bursts into flames, and I'm sitting here trying to unbuckle buckles and get that thing off my back before it ignites my suit and my hair. And these really cool goggles that I have to you know sport. Which, by the way, I've replaced all the batteries in these things and the lights still don't work. Kind of sucks. Big reason I didn't stay with the thing. Yeah, it'd be kind of nice to be able to, plan something. You're married. You're married. You got kids. Um, it'd be kind of cool to be able to actually plan something with the family ahead of time. I mean, even a fishing trip. Take the girls out. You know, go camping, do some fishing, cook your fish over an open fire, whatever the case may be. Having 2 weekends off in 4 years, uh-uh. That's one thing I do love about my job. If I need time off, all I gotta do is let my manager know, and when he writes out the schedule for that week, he never turns me down. I have that wedding at the end of this month. I'm officiating for the wife's brother. I've got 2 Civil War events next month, and then that's pretty much it for entire weekend things for the year. So, unless Danny comes up with something for us to do. But, that is the one nice thing about my job is my manager respects me enough that, whenever I need time off, all I have to do is say something to him. I had 4 little girls that I nearly needed to wear name tags because I never saw them. Yeah, and sadly enough, there's a lot of families like that where one or both parents work so much that they never get a chance to watch their kids grow. And the next thing that they know, those kids are having kids of their own and they're looking at their grandkids and they're wondering where the years went. I do that sometimes. Back before the diabetes thing, I was a workaholic. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to, work until I didn't have to work anymore and then start my own business up and, leave some kind of a legacy behind for my children. And, well, needless to say, I moved to Michigan. I met Steph. We got married. I died. I died again. And then wasn't able to work for 7 years because of it. And now here I am back working again, trying to make a name for myself in a new place. So, but it's finally working. And it's not hard labor. Last time I caught fish and cooked over an open fire, I had acne and slightly higher voice. Really need to get out more. So that's the one reason I love doing the Civil War thing is, it gives me a chance to escape for a weekend. It gives me a chance to get a fire lit, to cook over my fire. If it's a pretty clear night, sleep out under the stars. If it's an iffy kind of evening, I'm still in a tent where I get to sit and listen to the night sounds or the rain pattering off the canvas, as long as it's waterproof and it's not pattering off my forehead too. But so, damn it, Tony. Yeah, so last week, like I said a little bit ago, I hope you guys enjoyed that video yesterday on the history of coffee, where it came from, and what all was involved with, well, making it the amazing drink that it is today. It spawned revolutions. There was slavery involved. There was even dancing goats. Or so the story says. Tony always has jokes early in the morning, man. Tony has jokes 24/7. You should know this by now. Good morning, Justin. Hope you're doing good this morning, bud. Looking forward to seeing you out at Captain Bob's here in a few weeks. I don't give a fuck about the history of coffee or most shit really. Just women never allow my cup to run dry. I know, I'm just messing with him. Tony York is one of a kind. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. You're right about that. To be honest, it ain't exactly morning to me. Me either, Tony. I'm right there with you, bud. I've been up for 4.5 hours already. So, yeah, this is early afternoon to me. Then Rattles Farm this weekend. Hey, Midwest, and I am going to Van Rattles Farm. Cool, cool. I've got our Fall Fest the first weekend of October, the second weekend of October, which will be my birthday weekend. We have got Captain Bob's. Hopefully, Midwest is going to be, as of right now, let's put it that way, as of right now, Midwest will be joining us at Captain Bob's this year. So that's going to be really interesting. Van Rattles, not snakes, I hope. I don't know what you're worried about snakes for. You carry enough firepower on you to take out any snake. Keeping my fingers crossed. Any more things don't happen. Me too, bud. Me too. Good morning, Santee. Good to see you, you dirty bushwhacking, card sheeting, dishwashing. Okay, I'm out. I'm done. I'm tapping. That's farm. That's the park now. We're doing a Civil War reenactment. Snakes hide pretty. Yeah, they do. They do. You're right about that. Of course, just a heads up, guys and gals, um, we will be doing the Secret Santa thing again this year. The toy drive with Toys for Tots with the U.S. Marine Corps. We have got a drop-off point right here in town, so we will be collecting for Toys for Tots again this year. I know it's only September 15th, but Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas are right around the corner. So, just letting everybody know that we will be doing the Secret Santa and the Toys for Tots thing again this year, just to help out those that maybe are a little bit less fortunate. Um, Saw a big scorpion yesterday, about 6 inches. That's a big scorpion. Was it one of them black ones, or was it a brown scorpion? They tell me the larger the scorpion, the less dangerous it is. I don't know that I buy that shit. I don't either. I did. It's on Facebook. Brown one. Yeah. We don't have them up here, but Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, they got them little, like, 2-inch black ones that every once in a while you'll find in a flower bed or something like that when you're out working on your flowers and stuff, or out working in your garden. They're supposed to really have a nasty sting. The brown ones I've never encountered. Even when I lived in Texas, I never encountered a scorpion. I seen some tarantulas that were bigger than my hand, but I never encountered a scorpion when I lived out southwest. I won't be checking that theory. Uh, I'm right there with you, bud. I'm right there with you. I wouldn't go up my pants leg while working in Oklahoma. I left the state the next morning. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Aren't the baby rattlesnakes the most deadly? Yes, baby rattlesnakes, and I know this firsthand because when I was in Texas, I was doing a regional reenactment slash gun shoot, and we were out getting firewood out of the firewood pile, and I picked up this big log, and we had the tailgate down on the truck, and one of the locals was helping me gather wood, and she turned around and she's like, "Oh my God, get back, that's a baby rattlesnake." And I'm like, "It's not making any sound. I can see its tail doing this." I said, "But it's not doing anything." She said, "Yeah, but you have to understand, when they're little, they can't control how much venom they release, so they empty their venom sacs when they bite. Where a grown-up rattlesnake will limit the amount of venom that they inject with each bite. A baby just empties both sacs. So, yeah, they're definitely much more deadly when they're babies. So, yeah, you definitely do not want to get around baby rattlesnakes. Range. They're only like a foot long. I didn't get stung, but I did quickly determine this job ain't worth $5 an hour. No. One of my grandma's co-workers got stung by a scorpion after it climbed out of a box from Mexico that was shipped to the factory my grandma was working at. Wow. Yeah, I've actually heard of that before. They ship in um, fruits and vegetables or whatever the case may be, and you'll have spiders, you'll have scorpions, all kinds of things that crawl out of those crates um, when they, after they get through customs and everything and get to where they're going. So I've heard of that. As a matter of fact, I think that happened. Was it Indianapolis? It might have been Indianapolis here, probably 8 or 10 years ago. They had some kind of highly poisonous spider crawl out of a box of apples that had been shipped from somewhere. And they quickly killed it, and they didn't find any more, but still, oh, out of town, spotted lanternflies got here through shipping. Oh wow, I did not know that. What is a spotted lanternfly? I've never heard of those before. There's a clothing factory, scorpion, spiders, and a bat once. Wow. A lot of here. All right, give me just a second, guys. The wife is leaving. She's running late. I have to go give her morning. You guys talk about stupid people and invasive species for just a second, and I'll be right back. Well, that was fun and interesting. Let me see here. Plus side argument. Pheasants. Funny, I taught some Europeans, they don't know about some of our practices, like dumping your boots out every morning. Always a smart thing when you live in the Southwest. I did it for spiders. I'm sure in Arizona they do it for everything. Rattlesnakes, scorpions, spiders, armadillos. You don't want to get leprosy on your big toe. Yeah, anyways. Let me notifications for bids. See, Governor of New Mexico did gunmetal. Crazy. Good morning. Good morning, Rob. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing good this morning. Let's sheriff response was. Man, that thing just jumped like crazy. New Mexico, gun groper, throwing things against the wall to see what sticks. Sheriff's been caught line 4 by James Freeman. Problem with the situation, there's precedence. That happened. Dodge City Tombstone. Toe leprosy. Of course, toe leprosy. And the president's friends, same thing, brother. I live here in Texas for years. I tap my boots, brown recluse spiders. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Well, where I was at in southeast Texas, down around the Houston area, we had more of a problem with black widow spiders than we did brown recluses. Um, everywhere, everywhere, you were seeing black widow spiders. So, I didn't mess too much around with getting in situations with where there were spiders involved anyway. I kind of go on the old Marine belief in kill 'em all and let God sort 'em out. Non-lethal, lethal, non-lethal, lethal. But that's just, that's just me. Life has gotten a whole lot better for me. Full stream ahead on my YouTube channel. Working on a new project. Boom. When you get a chance, Rob, you need to scamper your butt back down here to Cassopolis. We have a resale shop out in the strip mall on the east end of town now, and they have got, well, when I was out there last time, I make no promises now, but when I was out there last time, they had several old antique Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars out there. Some that I don't even remember from my childhood. So, and I know you're real big into your die-cast cars and stuff. So, but yeah, definitely, might be worth a Saturday trip or something sometime. Let me see here. New project. Congratulations, bud. I'm glad things are definitely looking up for you. I try to move a happy buck back outside unless they might be poisonous and sorry, gotta go. Yeah, I know. Yep, that's exactly. Now, if it's a non-poisonous spider, it's here in my house, a granddaddy long leg, a brick spider, the little black ones with the 2 white dots on their, abdomen. I leave them alone. Of course, the wife freaks out about them because she's a complete arachnophobic. Daughter is too. If they see them, they want to kill them. I see them. As long as they're not in my food stores, then I leave them alone. I just let them do their thing. Stop my view, muscle memory, congrats, drive, can't win, that's pretty cool, but I'm taking a small break from doing the Hot Wheels stuff, getting back into my other things I used to do, like celebrity graves. Very cool. Very cool. I've missed that. I've missed that. I was always, I enjoyed my Hot Wheels and stuff like that. But as for collecting them, it's nice to see some of the ones that I had when I was, 5, 6, 7 years old. It's nice to see them again at times, but, as for being a collector, no. And the celebrity graves and stuff like that, definitely something I've missed on your channel. I think there in 10 months. Sounds interesting. I look forward to seeing a new video. I'm not a fan of spiders. I usually kill them, but I tried to kill last now cause Arachnophobia, they can get their revenge if they see killing a brother trying to stay on their good side. That is coming later today. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Oh man, I am not looking forward to today. It is it is Friday. It is usually an ass whooping day, um, and I'm there by myself. But there's no truck to put away, so I don't got to worry about working for an hour, hour and a half in the walk-in freezer, um, and frostbite, numbness, burning, things like that. But there's a reason I had to stop doing a lot of the things I was doing, but now everything is good, so I'm going to be doing a mix of everything. Got a big celebrity grave project that I'm working on. Very cool. Very cool. I could fall off this roof and not get hurt. The garage is buried 3 feet into the ground. Now, right now, my big a garage is my big project. I would actually like to. I want to dispose of the two old sheds out here that Grandpa put in when they moved this house here 18 years ago, and I'm looking into um, hopefully sometime in the near future getting a garage built out here at the end of the drive. Um, so the cars last a little bit longer. There's more storage, um, things like that. But that's definitely very high on my project list. Is trying to find. First of all, I want to get the drive blocked off. I have the privacy fencing panels. I just haven't had the money to go out and buy the 4x4s to anchor in the ground to put up the privacy fencing. So that's definitely high on my list, is getting the privacy fencing up, blocking off the back end of the drive, so people quit speeding down our driveway at 2 o'clock in the morning, and then almost taking out the shed or the trampoline or something when they realize that it tees off just out the south end of our drive, and nobody ramps up the neighbor's yard and their bedroom window at 45 mile an hour. So um, that's close. Glad to hear things are back good. Are you cementing the post? Yes. I'm actually going to. I need to. I've got cement. I've got cement. I just need to be able to afford the 4x4 post, and it's probably going to take. It's going to take probably 12 or 14 of them to go completely across the back of the property out here. So, yeah, very pricey. Very pricey. You're talking probably about $16 a piece, if not more, for the 4x4 post. But step by step, making the property nice. Nobody was here until I married Steph. No one is here or was here that done any repairs on the property from the time that Grandma and Grandpa bought this place 18 years ago till Grandpa died 17 years ago. He just died a year after they bought this place. So Grandma pretty much spent the last portion of her life here by herself in the place that her husband picked out. And that's the reason we kept the house, is because this was the place that Grandpa really liked. And, I want to keep it in the family. I want to make it everything that he wanted to make it. You know, keep the old man's dream alive, even though he's long gone. Keep his dream alive. What is a fair bit cheaper now than 2 years ago? Definitely so. It's still expensive. I mean, don't get me wrong. We had one of Steph's son's friends come out a few weeks ago, and he builds decks for a living. And you know the deck that Grandpa built out here at the back outside the back door is what 10 by 12, very small deck. But the walk boards he put on it, even being pressure treated lumber, they have started rotting and pulling up and starting to curl and stuff. And the boy came out and looked at it. He said it was still going to be $1,200 in just the 2x6 planks and the few 2x4s that we need to fix the railing. So I can't imagine, you know. But yeah, he said it's going to be at least $1,200 in just that. So you know, and I would actually like to enlarge the deck, change the angle of where the steps go, things like that. So you're not walking out this direction just to go this direction to get to where the cars park at and stuff. So yeah, little things. Things will get better as long as you have faith. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Thank you so much, Freedom. One thing you know, they're great. I can get back into projects that I used to do on my YouTube channel. Faith and prayers definitely helped me in the situation that I was in. Thank God, trying to finish remodeling home, to sell, to buy land. Slow and steady wins the race. Yep, it does. Good morning, Derek. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well this morning. Happy Friday up there in Windsor. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, guys, I'm going to roll on till about 9:30. That's about, 37 minutes. And, you know, I have to finish getting myself prepped and ready for work. But we still got a little over a half hour, so just a heads up, you know, at least I'm here. Yummy, yummy, yummy. God, I'm good, just a little sore. I've been pushing myself all week. Been a rough week here too, bud. Been a very rough week here. Like I said earlier in the stream, you know, this makes day 10 that I've opened the bar up. And you know, yeah, I've been dealing with trucks and shitty help and all kinds of stuff. People who like to clock in and just sit around and not do anything, or people that want to go out and sit in the dining room and talk to their friends while I'm back there, you know, sweating 100 and 105, 110 degrees and doing all the running around. People who like to be a crackhead. You know, we're not going to get into that though. Freedom. Feel better, Derek. Can't wait for Derek to make it down here so we can do something together. That's going to be pretty cool. I mean, you sit and think we only got about 2.5 or 3 hours separating us. Quite honestly, I think half his trip is going to be sitting at the Ambassador Bridge, crossing from Windsor, Ontario to Detroit, Michigan. Oh well. At least he won't be going to a Civil War event with me, and won't be like everybody else that's come to visit me and get shot once he gets here. So there's always an upside. Yeah, and you're right, Freedom. That is the downside to customer service. It's usually angry customers that it's usually angry customers, or just in general crappy customers that you have to deal with in customer service. You don't ever think it's your coworkers, but a lot of times it is. A lot of times it is. I actually had a customer the other day. Brought his wife and daughter in for the first time. He comes in almost every day and grabs lunch. The other day he was off work, brought his wife and daughter in, and I didn't even know they were out there. I made their food for them and everything, and I went out afterwards like I always do to find out, talk to the customers, find out how they like their meal, if I had to call the EMTs or anything. And he sitting way over in the booth, he starts waving at me and telling me to come over there. So I go over to him, and he introduces me. He says, "Hey guys, I want you to meet Drew. He is the best damn cook I've ever seen in a bar before." This guy is chef quality material here. He needs an Iron Chef coat. I guess his wife does embroidery or something. And she said, "I think that's probably doable." So I don't know what she's got scrolling around inside her head, but I'm scared. I really am. So, and we have a Gordon Food Service not very far from here that sells the chef coats and stuff. So, I'm scared. I'm really scared of what they're coming up with. Kind of a situation. I've been in service for too long to know coworkers can be so much worse. You're stuck with them. At least bad customers leave. True that. You are right about that, Freedom. Detroit, no. Great Lakes, Illinois, yes. I lived in Detroit for 3 months on my first killing there. Situation can be determined. Honey grew up outside Baltimore. Not as bad as Detroit, but still. Yeah. Really, Detroit's scary. The very first time that I went up to Chatham, Ontario to do the 1812 reenactment of the Battle of Thames, where, the Shawnee leader Tecumseh supposedly died at. Going back into Detroit, crossing the Ambassador Bridge, that was always fun. That was a great experience. The border patrol and stuff that are up there, working the bridge. They loved reenactors. They would actually want us to take out some of our muskets and stuff like that, so they could take pictures holding the muskets, or open the trailers up to have the cannons in them, and leaning down on the cannons, having their friends take pictures of them and stuff. That was always fun. We never had a problem at the bridge. But going back into Detroit after leaving Canada and stopping to get gas to make the drive back home. That was very, very scary. Um, we were at gas stations that were right on the edge of what a lot of people would consider the ghetto. I mean, grass lots that are chest high, people walking around. I mean, we were sitting there getting gas in the van, pulling the trailer, and the other guys were parked there in the lot. They still had over half a tank, and we were hearing gunshots, broad daylight. And yeah, okay, there's enough gas there. We can stop down the road. It very, very bad situation. Um, you and I get together next year will be great. It will, Derek. You're right. It will. I think it's a shame no one should have to fearing for their lives every day, and that's very true. And how people live in that, I'll never understand it. I would never, come hell or high water, I would never subject my family to living in that kind of fear on a daily basis. It's not uncommon in Detroit or other places like that. And I'm not going to say all of Detroit, because there is some of Detroit that is very beautiful. You don't ever see violence, but there are parts of Detroit, where things happen. I mean, you'll get two groups that are shooting at each other a block apart, and those bullets have to go somewhere. They've gone in people's windows, they've gone through people's doors, they've gone into people's cars, they've gone into people. It's just very, very sad that it has got so big that the police can't control it. I mean, you almost need a military operation to even start to get a grip on the crime and the violence in that area. I think it's a shame. The shooting outside my daughter's window. It's a big reason we left the city. Yep. Yep. Well, I was living in Muncie, Indiana, several years ago. For those of you that don't follow college football, Muncie, Indiana is the home of Ball State University, um, the Ball State Cardinals. And, I was living just south of downtown. And me and my ex-girlfriend were sitting there watching TV with her, what, 2-year old little boy in his playpen. We were watching The Lion King. It was like 8:30 at night, and just out of nowhere, you start hearing somebody yelling out the window. I stood up and got ready to walk to the window to look out, and all of a sudden you hear, brr, 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 brr. I grabbed the baby, spun around. We ran to the back of the apartment, um, where the kitchen was located at, and got between the refrigerator and the freezer. And you heard for like 5 minutes straight. Brr, 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 brr. Come to find out, the next morning somebody was standing less than 5 feet from our front door with a Mac 9, just emptying the clip down the road. He was arguing with somebody almost a block away. I went out there. I must have picked up a pound of 9mm casings right there out of my front yard. So, what's the purpose in that? I don't get it. I don't get it. And you know, you mentioned a shooting outside your daughter's window. The way the apartments were arranged in this place, you had 4 apartments that formed a big square. In the center of these apartments was a playground. And, you know, less than a week after that incident, we were laying in bed one night and heard 2 or 3 gunshots out in the playground, and one of them hit 6 feet from her son's bedroom window in the side of the building. Had a big chunk of concrete. The buildings were painted white, and they had brown shutters on them, and just between the 2 shutters on the bedroom windows, there was a big spot missing out of the white painted concrete where one of the bullets had hit, in between the windows. So I just don't, I'll never understand the mentality. And I agree. And believe you me, after the second incident, I mean, we had already started looking after the first incident, but after the second incident, we actually, you know, went way above our means in finding another location in another town to move to. There's nope, 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 nope. We don't play games like that. I mean, you know, everybody has to stay within a budget when it comes to finding a place to live. I mean, well, how's the old saying go? You can't get blood out of a turnip. You know, if you have $1,000 a month coming in, you can't possibly pull, you know, $1,000 out of your butt overnight to pay, you know, a $500 rent on a new place, $500 deposit, $300 or $400 in utilities to get them turned on in your name, you know, get moved, get a rental or get a moving van. Yeah, it's a little hard. A little hard. Needless to say, a couple of very insistent phone calls and we were out of there. And never looked back. People are fucking stupid sometimes. Yes, they are. You're absolutely right. And they have no respect for anybody else. And that's the biggest thing. Is the fact that they don't even take into consideration any respect or care about anybody else. I've abandoned everything and rebuilt. Ain't worth lives. Most definitely. Oh. Well, believe me, I've never wanted to live in a city. I've lived in cities. You know, I never actually, when I lived in Texas, I never actually lived in Houston. I lived in small towns around Houston. And, you know, for those of you that are familiar with the Houston area, places like Dayton, Texas, Liberty, Texas, Humble, Texas, you know, places like that. those are the kind of places that I really enjoyed living. Um, Baytown, Texas, another one. It was a town, but you very seldom ever heard of anything bad happening. I don't think most people who live in cities want to. It's more about affordability. And I think that's really, uh, I think that is the case a lot of times. Um, some enjoy convenience of walking. Uh, God, I wish they'd do away with that little heart right in the middle of the chat, because you can't read anything that's down on bottom of walking distance for everything. Yeah, and see, that was always the thing. When I lived in Indianapolis, I had a grocery store 2 blocks down the road. I had a hospital 3 blocks down the road. But I was 11 blocks from downtown Indianapolis. I was 11 blocks from Monument Circle. I was, what, 4 blocks from the downtown canal. And, that was Indianapolis's attempt to bring a little bit of beauty back into a concrete jungle. You know, you got the canoe rentals, the paddle boat rentals, things like that. And it was just happy people having picnics, going for boat rides, playing in the canal. You know, you never really had an issue with anything bad in that area. So now Indianapolis was an interesting city. Very interesting. Very interesting. Had some good people there, though. I have to admit, for a place with, you know, 2,500,000 people, it's very interesting. But this place I live in now, it's not even a town; it's a village. Our downtown is 2 blocks. The entire everything with this town is what, a half mile by a half mile, and that's the entire business district. And the everything over a half mile by a half mile is rural area. And quite honestly, it's probably more like a quarter mile by a half mile. But that encompasses all the houses, that encompasses all the businesses, that encompasses everything. Everything outside of that is rural route. So this is not a bad place. We still have Amish buggies that drive through town. Hell, I was standing out in front of the bar the other day at a slow time smoking a cigar, and 3 kids were skateboarding down the highway. For those of you that have never seen our little town, from the stoplight in the center of town, heading south, it's kind of downhill. So, we had kids skateboarding and people coming up behind them, and they'd drive past them, they'd wave at them, the kids would wave back at the folks in the cars. They'd get over in the center lane, and, we have our one stoplight, and that's it. This town has a population of 1,800, and it's 1 mile by 1 mile. Well, I don't know what our population is just in town alone. But our entire, um, the entire area of my town is like 3,500 people. And I mean, that's everybody living inside the city limits and everybody that's considered part of the town around it. So, and it's really funny too, Tony, that you mentioned the no stoplight thing. Um, I went and done an event a couple years ago over in Ohio, and one of the town where the event was held at, the only stoplight in town was on the side of the local bar slash restaurant, and it was decoration. That was it. There was no stop signs um, on the main road going through town. Downtown was only like a block. There was a fire station, a police station, a lumber yard, a diner, a bar restaurant, and like three antique stores, and that was all that was downtown. The gas station, right on the edge of downtown. But that was it. Downtown was literally one block. The whole town, the whole town may have been 200 yards by 500 yards. All around us, there's corn and soybeans. My neighbor, it's quiet at least. Some cornfields, but lots of housing in between. I live in a town in Missouri with a population of 100. Now, see, to me, that would be perfect. That would be perfect. The only problem, and I mean, I guess it's not a problem, but if you need to do any major shopping or anything, you have to go to the next town over to find a Walmart or something like that. But yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say right there, Freedom. You hit the nail on the head. But with the exception of having to go to the next town over to do something, it sounds so quiet and peaceful. That's the kind of place that you can go sit on your front porch. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody's there to help everybody if needed. Just perfect. Yeah, if you got farmers markets, screw Walmart. If you got farmers markets and stuff around, or even local farmers that put out their little vegetable stands and stuff like that in their front yard, don't need Walmart. A local butcher, local farmers, that's all you really need. Well, the thing is, with a population of 100, there aren't many kids your age. Yep. Doggone it. Where I grew up at, Tony, our the nearest kid that was even close to my age was a mile and a half down the road. You know, for when I got picked up on my bus before I started driving to school my junior year, um, it was an hour and a half on our bus just to make it around to pick up the 30 or 40 kids that were on that bus. Um, and it was everybody. I mean, it was everybody from third or fourth grade all the way through high school. So, um, to two-room school. Hey, Brooklyn, good to see you, dear. Hope you're doing good today. Debbie, good morning. Sadly enough, for those of you that are just now coming in, we're only going to be here probably another 9 or 10 minutes. Um, I have to open up again this morning. 10th day in a row. Believe me, my knees and my back are feeling it, especially after doing that truck yesterday and everything. So K through 3 in one room, 4 through 8 in the other. That sounds interesting. Even our smallest school where I grew up at, it was probably 12 rooms. Total, and that included the gym, that included the cafeteria, that included the custodian's room, that included. So I mean, it was not a big school, um, but you know, once again, growing up in the country, that was all of the grades. Um, Kindergarten through sixth. But that all, you know, once again, that included the art room, that included the music room, that included the gym, that included the cafeteria, that included the principal's office, that included the restroom, that included everything. So, I mean, just a teeny tiny little country school. I just released my new video on shadow people. Well, that should be good. I'll have to check that out. I'll have to make a note and check that out when I get home from work. It's boring, kind of poor education, especially for the older grades. Oh, I'm sure it was. It's midnight here in Sydney. Is it midnight already? 9, so you're 12, you're 15 hours. 15 hours ahead of us. Because it's only 9:24 a.m. here. So yeah, you're about 15 hours ahead of us. I would have probably loved something like that. Oh, it was a very cool experience. Um, the principal was a great man. You know, he has long passed on. Um, Sadly, you know, I never got the chance to they closed the school down when they tried to put schools together. Um, I never got the chance to go back and thank him for the education and the things he did for the kids. This was the kind of principal that whenever we had like a field day or something like that, he would be right there in the middle of the yards, out doing sports with the kids. Um, he was very, very involved with the kids, not just their education, but, you know, keeping them interested in coming back to school. I'm a night owl, but you're worth it. Thank you, dear. Appreciate that. You ever seen a shadow person? Do you think they're human spirit, demon, or something else? We have seen what we believe are shadows. Now, you guys know me well enough to know that I'm never one to come straight out and say demon, demon, demon. I just don't do that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that everything bad is a demon. Danny, I wish he was still here. You know, Danny told me a long time ago, some people were just assholes in life and they're going to continue to be assholes in death. So, just because you run across something that doesn't feel right or you run across something that's angry or mean, they're just a dick. That doesn't necessarily mean demon. Let me see here. What's this say here? Drew, next year when I come visit, I'm bringing you some snack foods we have here that you guys do not have there. Very cool, because I'm always interested in trying out new international things. I love it. You know, I will still sit and take little nips out of my Vegemite that Christine sent me last year from Australia. The wife hates it, daughter don't like it. More for me. And I went to school in Perryville, started progressive school, let you learn your own pace. It was great for me. I bet it was. Watching videos of different countries, trying different countries' food. Fascinating, most definitely. As a freshman in college level at the time, I was a freshman in high school. There you go. Yes, no freedom. We moved back here, and I was bored out of my head. Yep. Kill the coffee pot. This will be my last cup of coffee. I got to get out of here in like a minute and a half. Then you had a hard time to find trouble. Exactly. And that's one thing I really like about the small schools and the small areas that people grow up in. You know, kids have got a lot less chance of finding trouble when there's no one around to get in trouble with. For some reason, I ain't figured it out yet, kids do not like to get into trouble where the finger can be pointed directly at them. I just read mostly. Love reading, so do my chitlins, makes me proud. Reading is always fun, that's for sure. Yeah, you're right about that, Tony. Sadly enough, you know, we live in a world now where you can't even threaten to whoop your child's butt. Because your child is educated now to, if you feel threatened, if you feel scared at home, call the police. call a friend that will call the police for you. You know, whatever. Have them come and handle the situation. I'm an introvert, love reading, hate crowds. You know, and I'm going through that with my daughter. Um, she is she has got a social anxiety disorder that is off the scale. And I've tried to explain to her that I too, when I was younger, um, had social anxiety disorder. Of course, you know, there wasn't such a thing back in the 70s and early 80s. They didn't understand social anxiety and stuff like that. But I didn't even like going to family reunions because they were so big. And, you know, I got into high school, I joined the debate club, I got into choir, I got into drama club, got into band, and you know, then when I got out of school, I started doing the reenactments, and of course, you know, on Education Day during the school year, when there's reenactments going on, Education Day is usually Friday when busloads of kids come out. You know, you might end up talking to 2,500 kids in an 8-hour period, and all of that together completely got me over my social anxiety disorder. So, you know, I'm trying to push her into trying some of the same tactics I did to realize that social anxiety won't kill you, that you can master it, and kids don't. I'm an introvert, still whoop the grandkids need be, then get rude awakening and foster system. However, that whooping bar is set pretty. Yeah, it is. It's set pretty high. I mean, you can't even legally look at your child now and say, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, I'm going to whoop your butt. Because they'll go to school, they'll tell a teacher, the teacher will come to your, will call the local law enforcement, they will come to your house and they will find out everything about you. They will drill you like a mother. Yeah, you don't want them killing their siblings though. I mean, that's just. But it's that time, guys. It's actually 3 minutes past that time, so now I got to rush around just a little bit to get ready to head off to work and face another day. Um, what are some of those props behind me? Um, well, let's see here. I've got the chromium skulls back there, the mirrors, um, meat cleavers, haunted doll I got from Amy from Mindless Adventures. I got this little skull holding the candle from Amy, Mindless Adventures. Um, Me and the wife picked up the little Triceratops because she likes to dance, so you know. But that's about it, really, when it comes to props. Nothing special, just things I've. No, no, you can't. You can't deer hunt with a pistol here. It's got to be. It's got to be a long gun. Now black powder, I think you can deer hunt here with black powder pistol. I believe you can. I believe you can. I believe you can with black powder. I believe you can. If they're knowledge dogs, why don't you have them contained? Because I've had no issues out of them at all. I've had no issues out of that dog whatsoever. I think she just loves to be seen. But I'm out of here, guys. I've got to roll myself to work. I just keep chatting and chatting and chatting. But that's it for today. Thank you, everyone, for coming in and joining us. Thank you for your support and your love and everything. I appreciate it. I will be on, as of right now, I will be on Monday morning for another coffee and chat. And be looking for Sunday's video. I guarantee it's probably going to be more interesting than the history of coffee. So that's all for today, guys. Until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. We do. We'll see y'all later. Have a good day. Have a good weekend.